Yebo, welcome to Watch Me Build It. Something I love about watch building is the unexpected surprises that meet us along the way. Recently there was a case and bracelet combo in the Namoki store that caught my eye. It's called their GS case and bracelet set. I asked them if they could send one through to me because I wanted to build a watch with it. I wanted to see kind of what it looked like, because it promised to be something that was a slightly dressier dive watch, and I was curious to see what it would look like. I chose a selection of parts that would help me to build something that came close to the Grand Seiko SBGH 921, but I also felt like maybe it would be a little bit too little to just build a dive watch. So I asked Namoki to send me an NH34 GMT movement, and I put a GMT chapter ring in there with a GMT hand. And I want to show you the parts, give a bit of a review of the case itself, and show you what it looked like when I was done. This is an advanced build, and it requires installation of a chapter ring, crystal, and a bezel. I have yet to upload videos on those steps on my playlist, but I do have a video on my site called the Omega Seamaster Homage, and you will see me doing those steps on that video. If you want to see how to do that, go ahead, watch the video, and you'll get some tips from that in the meantime. So here are our parts. We begin with the Seiko NH34 movement, standard NH movement on the back end. If we come around to the front, you'll see the extra works that make for the GMT functionality. I chose one with the black date wheel, and then background here we've got the stem, which we'll need to resize, and the washer goes beneath the dial. I brought two GMT hands, a blue and a red, just to see which worked better. This is the chapter ring. This is not the correct one. I had to ship a new one from Namoki, but it looks the same, blue with red numerals. And coming on over here, we've got Namoki's GMT dial, a really great dial, matte finish, applied indices, and the center hole is large enough for the GMT movement. Then I've chosen their GS hands, and I really do like these. Well made, nice gloss finish, red tip on the second hand. I think these were a really good choice, and they go with the whole Seiko theme. And over here is the bezel insert. I love this. I love Namoki's steel bezel inserts, and I really wish they would make more of it. This one has the Seiko style font, and I think it's just a brilliant choice for this project. Going with that, we've got this LX bezel, and it's got really chunky teeth, and I think that is a good close look for the GS Dive Watch that we're wanting to homage. This isn't the shiniest bezel, but it works really well. I chose the NMK 304, which is a flat crystal. I'm not going to take it out the package until I assemble. And then I've got the slimline case back. It's my favorite case back. It's only 100 meters waterproof, but that's sufficient for my needs, and I really like the way it contributes to a build. This bracelet's really great. So they've gone for the look of the Grand Seiko. They've got these nice polished bits in the center of the bracelet, polished bevels on the sides, and it really looks an amazing treat. And then they did this. What the heck? Namoki? Why? This cheapest chips pressed diver clasp on this jewelry-like bracelet. What? Namoki? Come on, you've got to do better than that. Anyway, back to the bracelet. Look at this. It's a piece of beauty. Those chamfered edges are amazing. The brushing is incredible. And I love here the positive end link, and it's got this kind of interpenetration vibe going with different levels. Really a beautiful, beautiful piece of machinery. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this bracelet's going to look like. Even the back end of the bracelet is machined just gorgeously. Yeah, really, really like the bracelet. Screwed pins, easy to adjust, a real peach. And then the star of the show is the case. And I really was impressed with this case. There are a few things that impressed me. The first was the finishing on the polished surfaces. They really are mirror-like. Now, I've never handled a Grand Seiko. I doubt that Namoki would achieve a Grand Seiko finish, but for what it is, an homage to that idea, this case is brilliant. Excellent brushing, crisp edges between polished and brushed surfaces, even got drilled lug holes. Have a look where, kind of between the lugs, highly polished, really well finished. I must say, I really am impressed with the quality of every case that I get from Namoki. A huge upside of this case over the Grand Seiko is the fact that the crown is at 4, and when it's 42mm, it makes it fit so much better. The first thing we're going to do is take care of that stupid clasp. It doesn't fit this bracelet. I found this one on AliExpress, and I'm just going to do a little how to fit clasp. So very simple. Use our spring bar tool, remove the first portion of the bracelet, lay the new clasp out in the same orientation so that you're attaching the bracelet to the same part of the clasp. Then we remove the clasp from the other part of the bracelet and install. It's really so simple, very easy, but have a look at that. Come on, that works, man. Chamfered bevels, brushed top. It's as if these were made to go together. Well done. Okay, here's the finished product. I'm not going to say too much. We're going to get into an in-depth review now. I love the graphic. We'll just do a slow rotation, taking it in. Wow, this turned out well. Outside in review. So, clasp. This clasp is really good. There's a link below. Pick one up, put it on the bracelet. Oh, just gorgeous. It's slender, it's elegant, it works well, it fits this bracelet like hand in glove. Milled scissor portion, milled shell, lots of micro. The bracelet, as I said, is gorgeous. Just look at how it plays with the light, and I love the juxtaposition of the polished with the brushed. Look at how it interfaces with the case. Oh, beautiful. The edges are brushed as well. I love that. And we also have screw pin adjustment. Just the finishing is done so very well. Have a look here. Look at this interpenetration and how subtle the curve is on the lower portion. It's just done well. Case back. The back of the case is actually a feature for me. And the reason it's a feature is because it sweeps upward from the case back itself to the flanks of the watch, and this makes it weigh so much more comfortable. The case itself is very fine workmanship. The juxtaposition of polished surfaces with brushed surfaces, the angles and the crisp finishing on the edges of those angles, just taking a smudge out there, the drilled lug holes, the different surfaces and how well they are finished at their edges, the way that those lugs interface with the case, really good. I've mentioned how advantageous the 4 o'clock crown position is. I think that's an improvement over the actual Grand Seiko case. It's a nice size crown. I can even unscrew it with my white gloves and screw it back in again. This crown comes as part of the set. It's unique to this case and really works very well. The bezel, wow. One of the best sounding bezels. One of the best feeling bezels I've had out of the moment. Really brilliant. This bezel insert, I love the radial brushing on the stainless steel, and it's got black coating, DLC coating, white numerals, done so well. Now, the crystal, I chose a flat crystal with a beveled edge, and it was gorgeous. It works beautifully and just plays with the light so well. Really good. It's got AR coating, so you can see the dial clearly. What you can't see clearly are the red numerals on the chapter ring. And I would choose a different chapter ring if I rebuilt this watch. The dial itself and the hands, they all just work well, except the blue GMT hand disappears. I would use the red hand for rebuild. this build. But all in all, yeah. And look at the loom. Oh my soul. Absolutely nothing to be embarrassed by. Dimensions, we're at 43mm on the case. We're at 40mm on the bezel. Only 13mm thick. One of the most slender builds. Lug to lug, 47.5. On the positive end links, 54mm. And then the lug width is 20mm. Weighing in, size for me, 162 grams, with all of the links, 170 grams. And here's a wrist roll. This 42mm watch wears a lot more snugly and effortlessly than it would seem. I'm so impressed with this case and the strap, and I really like this build. I really do. And so, what do you think? I actually like the way this came out. There's a good graphic to this, but it's got a couple of issues. The first issue is that the red text on the blue chapter ring disappears. And because I used a dive bezel, you kind of are reliant on that chapter ring for this GMT functionality. So if I redid this build, I would simply use the white text on black chapter ring. Also, the blue GMT hand kind of disappears against the black dial. Therefore, if I redid this build, I would use the red GMT hand and it would pick up on the red tip on the second hand. However, I was inspired. I was inspired by Seiko's own Seiko 5 GMT watch. So what I did was I got hold of a Batman bezel. I couldn't find a GMT bezel quickly that would fit the watch. Although I've got a link for Namoki's GMT bezel below, and you could use that and it would look peach. I found a really nice mother of pearl blue dial. I used a Seiko style red GMT hand, and this is what it came out like. Say hello to the Rossbow Blueberry GMT. I don't think there's much to say except that it works. It really works exceptionally. Have a look at this mother of pearl dial. It's just a thing of great beauty. It really is. And that red GMT hand is so much better. It picks up a little more on the red digits, but I still can't read them. Ah, look at that. Just a thing of beauty. And I think the beautiful dial goes so well with the beautiful case. Really strong loom on this dial and on these hands. I am pleased. So there we go. Happy surprises along the way. I love both of those watches. I've got all of the parts listed down below. Click on the links, go through, pick them up from Namoki, pick them up from AliExpress. If you're in the Namoki store, use the code WMBR5 for a discount and see what you can build using this tremendous GS Dive Watch case. As always, have fun building it, and I'll see you next time.